Suddenly, 13.8 billion years ago, there was a universe, or at least the beginnings of one. Expanding all at once, our universe was kickstarted in a fraction of a second, before even the most basic elements existed. The Big Bang, as the early universe is known, turned our young universe into a scalding hot cosmic soup of light and particles. But what actually happened in those fractions of a second? How did the universe grow into what it has become? And what don't we know about our own universe? Let's investigate.
13.8 billion years ago, the universe was unimaginably hot and dense, and then it underwent some really incredibly rapid expansion in what scientists call the Big Bang.
The Big Bang is not really referring to a specific point in space, but it's really everywhere that's expanding all at once. It's not really an explosion so much as space expanding everywhere.
The Big Bang explains a lot of what we know about the universe from observations. We see expansion of space itself. We see galaxies flowing away from us. And the best explanation for that is that space between the galaxies itself is expanding.
This means that there's no particular center. We're certainly not at any special place in the universe. And also, all the directions that we look out, the universe looks approximately the same. And so these kinds of observations are consistent with the Big Bang theory.
The very early universe was incredibly hot. It was 18 billion degrees Fahrenheit. When the universe was less than a second old, it had cooled enough for electrons, protons, and neutrons to form. By the time the universe was 3 minutes old, it had cooled further, and so the very first elements were able to form: hydrogen and helium. Scientists believe that the first stars formed around 100 to 250 million years after the Big Bang. And those first stars formed by the hydrogen and helium in the universe coming together and forming dense clumps and eventually collapsing down to form those first stars.
About 5 billion years ago, our solar system formed in our galaxy, which is much older than that, of course. And in it, our Earth also started to form.
Scientists believe that everything that ever existed was present at the very beginning of the universe. And so that means all of the dark matter, all of the normal matter in the universe was already present, and the energy in the universe was already present right at the very beginning.
What we know about the universe, it's 4% of the matter we know and love, like ordinary matter, the stuff you and I are made of. And then something like 27% is dark matter. Matter that behaves like normal matter, except we don't see it and we can't interact with it. Like, it doesn't emit light, it just provides gravity. And then most of it is made of dark energy, which we know even less about.
Dark energy is another very mysterious phenomenon. In the last several billions of years, the universe is undergoing an accelerated expansion, which we think is driven by dark energy. And so that's when we really see its impact.
The universe is continuing to evolve over time. Scientists know that the universe is accelerating in its expansion. And what we are trying to understand now is what's going to happen in the future. And we do this by looking into the past.
We can get snapshots of the universe 3 billion light years ago, 6 billion light years ago, 9 billion light years ago, and that's what we're trying to do.
What is really mind-blowing is that we can tell this story about how time began because we can just observe how things behave, things that we can see, and then we use equations that are complicated, but that humans can figure out. And those equations give us exactly what we see. They match the evidence perfectly.
We're accumulating so much new data in areas that we haven't been able to explore before in terms of how far we're looking out, or the statistics that we're able to capture in terms of the volumes of the sky. And I think that will open up potentially new directions in our understanding of physics.
Throughout history, scientists have uncovered incredible truths about how the universe formed and evolved, continuing to expand our understanding of the cosmos that we inhabit. However, there is still much that we do not yet know. These questions might seem almost too big to answer, but there are a number of different NASA missions, programs, and initiatives that aim to put these pieces together. While the universe remains full of mysteries, scientists will continue to try to understand the mystery that is the universe itself.